Yeah, absolutely, and it's very closely related to what at Google they figured out is the key driver for team success, which is psychological safety. And this may very much sound like some soft, silken glove concept, which is not really how I mean it. It's that you provide a basis of like, okay, at least we can discuss things openly, and if I bring up something controversial, I'm not going to get a backstab from a colleague or let alone from my boss, right? So once you get to that level, this is, I'm sure, what drives the most successful organizations, that they're able to have those debates, fierce debates sometimes, but then also at the end are able to commit to a common course, and even if they don't agree, they are able to disagree and commit and then sell that to their teams and their people like this is the way forward. Because companies can be successful in many different ways, but they cannot be successful in many different ways at the same time, right? So you have to align one particular way. That's the way forward for you. Sometimes you try it out and you pivot the next quarter. That's all fine, right? But you cannot at the same time disagree, never have the discussion, and then everyone working in silos towards goals that never pay off.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. It's kind of like having the rowboat, and you have one person or canoe, and one person's kind of going one way and the other person's going the other way, and you just find yourself going over and over again in that circle. I really like that psychological.
Yeah, and if I may build on that metaphor for just a second.
Yeah.
The default way that a startup team often operates, because they've never thought about it, is that every single executive basically checks in constantly with the founder, like, am I doing the right thing? But never as a team. And they all seek the approval of the founder, because of course that person has like a godlike status in the company, right? But it's, to build on your analogy, it's a little bit as if you're having a rowing boat that's supposed to win a race, and everyone is only checking in with the cocks if they're rowing okay, and nobody looks at their peers, and nobody looks at if the boat is actually going ahead. They're just looking at their own technique, and that's, I think, sorely damaging in this mid stage where people are just focused on their own performance and being guided on their own performance, not on what the company needs most.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely huge. And then, you have so much dependency upon that person, that CEO, to be able to kind of direct people or tell people what to do, which, like you said, it could be really good getting to a level. But at that same time, when you have 1,000 people doing that or 100 people, it becomes a lot more to kind of manage. And it's so important to kind of make sure that you have those conversations, which is absolutely huge. And so, what would you consider to be what I like to call your secret sauce? I feel like you kind of touched on this. It might be that three-peat that we kind of touched on and talked about. But what do you feel is the thing that makes you or your organization, or a combination of both unique?